Juicing is largely considered to be a great habit to start if you want to improve your health and form better eating and drinking habits. A fresh juice with a good combination of fruits and vegetables can be a great way to get more vitamins, antioxidants, enzymes, and minerals, many of which don't come through when the fruits and vegetables are processed in other cooking methods. Before we get started with our video detailing the best juicers on the market, we have included links in the description for each product mentioned, so make sure you check those out to see which is in your budget range. Starting off with the best overall juicer, we have the Breville JE98XL Juice Fountain Plus. The Breville JE98XL Juice Fountain Plus offers the most value for your money. Not only is it of excellent quality, but it's also relatively inexpensive, at least compared to some of the other juicers you can buy. The Breville Juice Fountain Plus is a centrifugal juicer with a number of great features. It's easy to assemble and disassemble, which makes cleanup a breeze. Most of the parts are even dishwasher safe, so you won't need to worry about washing the components by hand. The juicer also has a big enough mouth for larger pieces of fruit, and in many cases, you'll be able to fit an entire fruit or vegetable in there without having to cut it up at all. That cuts down on prep time and ensures you won't have to dirty up knives and cutting boards to make some juice. The motor inside the juicer is 850 watt, and the device comes with a liter jug, a froth separator, and a cleaning brush. To ensure that it squeezes all the juice out of your fruits and vegetables, the Breville Juice Fountain Plus has low and high speeds. You can kick it up a notch if the juicer is having a particularly hard time getting through some of the fruits and vegetables you're throwing at it. Of course, the juicer isn't perfect. It's not the best at juicing greens like kale, and while cheaper than some others, $150 is still a good chunk of change. The juicer has a 1-year warranty. Good Housekeeping says this juicer is as good as it gets, without having to spend a fortune, though the Breville isn't as adept at juicing greens like kale. Juicer Fanatics says that it's a great juicer for newbies who don't want to spend $300 or more for a juicer. The Wirecutter agrees that the juicer is fast and does the job passably well, so long as there aren't greens involved, but warns that it's noisy and you could get better by spending a bit more. Regardless, we think it's the best juicer for most people because it's adept at squeezing juice out of most fruits and vegetables without any problems, and it's relatively affordable for a juicer of this caliber. Next up, we have the best versatile juicer, which goes to the Omega NC800 HDR nutrition system. If you're the kind of person who wants to get a lot out of one appliance, look no further than the Omega NC800 HDR Nutrition System Juicer. It may be pricier than the Breville juicer, but the trade-off is that it's much more powerful and versatile. It goes far beyond juicing with the help of many different attachments. The Omega juicer can even extrude vegetable noodles and homemade pasta, grind nuts, chop things up, or make frozen desserts and baby food. The motor produces the equivalent of 2 horsepower and runs at low speeds of 80 RPM to get the most juice out of your produce. We tested the Omega juicer in our kitchen to see how it fared against all sorts of fruits and vegetables, including everything from carrots and beets to apples and pineapple. No matter what we fed into the juicer, it produced a ton of juice with very little effort. The pulp collected quickly in one bin, while juice mounted up in the other. This juicer is very easy to use, even for a novice. We got a lot of carrot juice out of a standard bag of carrots and a good amount of apple juice out of half a dozen apples. It's a masticating juicer, so it's much more adept than centrifugal juicers at getting the most juice out of your produce. We also tried out the other functions and attachments to make veggie noodles and grind some carrots. Best of all, the Omega NC800 is well built and easy to use. When it comes time to clean it, the juicer comes apart very easily and the parts are all dishwasher safe. I don't have a dishwasher, so I scrubbed each component by hand after juicing, and it only took a matter of minutes. Omega includes a cleaning brush in the box, so you can get all the little food particles out of the filters and other pieces. I was pleasantly surprised by how easy it was to clean. The only downsides here are the $300+ price tag and the amount of space it takes up on your counter. However, if you want a versatile, high-powered juicer that can do more than produce juice, this is the one we'd recommend. Up next, we have the best juicer for whole fruits or vegetables, which goes to the Hamilton Beach 67650A. Looking for a juicer that doesn't require you to cut up your fruit into bits and pieces first, the Hamilton Beach 67650A Big Mouth Pro might be the right juicer for you. This juicer, as the name implies, has a mouth that measures an extra wide 3 inches, which should be enough for many fruits and vegetables to go in whole. The advantages to this juicer don't stop at the big mouth. It also offers a stainless steel cutter and strainer that are dishwasher safe, and according to Hamilton Beach, it's able to make up 24% more juice than competitors. The juicer is also pretty powerful. boasting a hefty 800-watt motor, and it has a large pulp catcher, so you can juice a lot of fruit before having to replace the catcher. There are some disadvantages to consider. For example, the Big Mouth Pro is relatively noisy, and the juice jug is relatively small, coming in at 20 ounces. The juice also oxidizes relatively fast because of the fact that the motor sucks in a lot of air. However, most reviewers agree that for a juicer that costs quite a bit less than $100, the Hamilton Beach 67650A Big Mouth Pro is a great deal. CNET gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars and was impressed by how well it handled kale and other tough fruits and vegetables for a juicer in its price range. Next, we have the best juicer on a budget, which goes to the Black & Decker JE2200B. If you're looking to get into juicing but don't necessarily have a big budget, you may want to consider the Black & Decker JE2200B, which costs less than $36. That's not bad at all, especially considering the fact that this juicer is still pretty effective. The juicer offers stainless steel cutters and strainers, which are durable, so the juicer should last a good amount of time without breaking. On top of that, it has a 400-watt motor and a relatively large, integrated pulp container. Of course, it's important to note that this is an entry-level model, so it is lacking in some features. For example, it only has 2 settings, on and off, so it'll either juice what you put in there, or it won't. It's also a little loud, and according to some reviews, can get messy. In general, this is the best for those getting into juicing and who don't necessarily know if it'll be a long-term investment for them. Good Housekeeping recommends it only for making carrot juice and warns that it has trouble with greens and apples, but the site still gave it 3 stars because it's very easy to use and super cheap. It's relatively well loved for such an inexpensive item, with almost a 4-star average on Amazon, which isn't bad at all. For our last pick, we have the best juicer for citrus, which goes to the Breville 800 CPXL Citrus Press. Looking for a juicer specifically for orange and lemon juice? You may not need to get a full-on juicer. Instead, a citrus press might work perfectly well. The Breville 800 CPXL is one of the best looking and most effective ones you can buy. The entire device is made from professional-grade stainless steel, and it has a quiet motor, so you'll be able to get as much juice as possible out of your fruit. The device also offers what Breville is touting, a revolutionary arm system, so it should be pretty easy to use too. It's also easy to clean, because the press boasts dishwasher-safe parts, so you won't need to worry about hand-washing all the components. If one of those components breaks, you'll also be covered by the 1-year warranty. There are some downsides to consider. For example, the Breville 800 CPXL has a $199.95 price tag, which isn't cheap for a device like this. You'll also need to do some work to get the fruit juiced, so that's another thing to keep in mind before you buy. So that sums up our top juicers. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video,